Okay, the next technique on the list is called leaping crane. A leaping crane is going to be the first technique that we've all had where we're kicking towards the knees. I just wanted to take a minute and explain to you guys what your goal is and the injury you can cause on your attacker by striking to the knee. In this particular technique, what's going to happen is you're going to be throwing a knife edge kick or a modified side kick into the side of his knee, the side of his knee joint right here. It's going to look like this, and our purpose of this is not only to check his width, but also to drive him down to the floor so that we can do a follow-up. I just want you guys to appreciate this because a lot of Kenpoists, including myself, will go through these techniques for years and years and just kind of blow this off. We go through techniques all the time where we kick the person down. We're very nonchalant about kicking the person down on the ground, but you can really cause a lot of serious damage at the knee joint. There are supportive structures in the knee called ligaments. The ligaments connect the bones to the bones. By striking the side of the knee right here on the lateral side, what will happen is you'll actually tear the ligaments on the opposite side. And that's a very, very serious injury. The person's going to be in a lot of pain and due for a lot of rehab after that. If that doesn't tear, if there are no ligament damages from kicking the knee, what will happen is his patella, his kneecap, will slam down into the concrete or wherever you guys happen to be standing on, and that can cause a fracture. So most of your techniques will have these for as you guys are progressing through the ranks. You're going to have a lot of techniques where you guys are kicking towards the knees. So just kind of appreciate it. It's a very devastating blow. Realistically speaking, it would probably end the fight if you guys were caught in this type of a situation. So let's go ahead and begin with leaping crane. Okay, leaping crane is against a right step through punch. Your attacker's coming from your front. What we're going to begin by doing is doing a left inward parry against this punch. I'm going to take a step with our left leg out to about 10 o'clock as we parry this punch. Now, while we do this, our right hand is going to make an eagle's beak, which, as you guys know, always strikes to the rib cage. So when we step off, this eagle's beak strike is going to travel through his rib cage, and then you're going to kind of hug yourself with it. Come over to here. All while that's happening, you're going to go into what we call a one-legged stance. So a one-legged stance is a transitional stance where you're basically going to take your right leg, put the sole of your foot up on the inside of your knee. Now, you're not going to stand there for very long. In fact, realistically, what you're doing is you're going to have that foot ricochet off your knee so that you can set up to do a kick. So the first step of the technique looks like this. Okay, the first four movements of this technique are going to be thrown simultaneously. The left inward parry, the left step to 10 o'clock, the right inward eagle's beak, and the right one-legged stance. They're all thrown at the same time. Immediately from here, after touching into your one-legged stance, you're going to throw a knife edge kick into his knee, drive him down to the floor. Now, the second he plants, when you plant, you're going to swing in a pendulum motion, a back fist, into his kidney in an attempt to get him to arch his back. When he arches his back, that head comes in, which gives us an opportunity to throw a right inward elbow and a left inward palm. And we're going to throw this in one more angle. Just a little tip for you guys when you guys are practicing. Eagle's beaks are very difficult to control, especially if you're going to something breakable like the ribs. So what I like to do, when Jorge steps through with this right punch, you'll notice a little slack in his uniform right here. If you just open up your hand, use the fingerprints of your index finger and your middle finger, you can slap through that gi pretty hard and not have to worry about injuring your partner. So what we'll do, it'll look really dramatic, but we're not going to hurt each other. We're going to step over here, do the first step of the technique, one-legged stance, kick him down, back fist to the kidney, and inward elbow to his head. All right, let's do one more take at that. Okay, leaping crane in the ideal phase ends with that inward elbow and the left inward palm striking the head. Realistically speaking, and going back to what we were saying about how devastating those kicks to the knees can be, Jorge's reaction might be a little bit different. In fact, when he steps in, kicking him down, he may post, meaning put his hands down on the floor and lean so far forward that his head is just not a realistic target for us right now. So basically what happened is I landed in a neutral bow. If I simply shift into a forward bow right now, my shins are basically on his butt or on his hip. So if I shift into a forward bow, he's going to do a face plant on the ground. And you can end your technique there.